Hello everyone, we've got two beautiful devices here, and unlike every other video recently, these are not smartphones. Today, I've got the latest Mavic 4 Pro and I've actually tested it as well. So, let's begin the review. Comparing this particular device to the previous version, the Mavic 3 Pro, you get a lot of changes and very remarkable changes. This is the brand new remote DJI has to offer and this thing is wonderful. This is great, I'll talk about it in a while, it's still there, but this is the source stealer for me. I've got a few problems and complaints for the drone itself, but the remote is wonderful. If you've noticed, you never see a display emerging out of the remote. The remote is bigger and this thing is extremely unique. This just folds right back into the remote and when you need it, pop it off. It's gonna turn it on itself. And then you just switch it around, the gimbal rotates itself to make it vertical and now you're shooting vertical. That's some amazing innovation out there. Let's put this aside as well. One tiny complaint I have about this display is the power button is hard to find. It's located around this corner, so you have to be very sneaky to turn this on and off. While it's not just the power button, there's another unique feature you get right on this remote and that was interesting. Generally, if you ever opened a DJI's drone or a remote box, you must have noticed these little joysticks, they come around here. You get a separate storage unit at the back of the remote where you unscrew the joystick and keep it there. But this time when I took the remote out of the box, I noticed the joystick is already there. And I turned the remote back to find no extra storage space there. That intrigued me. But what actually happens is when you're putting the display down, the joysticks fold themselves. Magic. Now keeping the remote aside, let's bring in the Mavic. I didn't call this Mavic because it's fast, but because it goes behind 360. Well, except for that, the gimbal is the main difference on these two drones. I mean these Mavic 3 Pro and the Mavic 4 Pro. Now keeping those for a little later, we can see other remarkable differences in the body as well. If you take a careful look around, firstly you see the difference in shape. This is a bit bigger and it's got a circular tube-like feel. It is looking cylindrical as well. Except for that, you get two air vents here. You get a LiDAR sensor here. Then you get three more sensors at the top and you get the battery hole at the back. Well, yeah, I was talking about the place you put in the battery and this is the main battery. This is the high capacity one which changes the weight of the whole drone itself. If we're just talking about the weight of the drone, it's not more than or I think around 1000 grams. But the weight changes as you add in the battery. While 1100 grams or so is not the most optimal weight for a smaller drone that would be. But for a drone of this size, when you're looking at it, it's looking aggressive. And having it just for under 1200 grams with the highest capacity of the battery is amazing to me. You can take this to a lot of places. Although this drone is a big, fat, chunky drone, there's a single attraction that's the best for me. You get three cameras here, just like last time, but there's a twist. The primary camera we find here or the primary sensor we find here is from Hasselblad. You know the brand, you can assume how good the quality is going to be. Except for that, you get a medium telephoto and a telephoto lens. All these lenses, wonderful. I'd even argue to a point saying that amongst these commercially available drones, this is the best quality on this price range. If you can afford this drone, it's wonderful. The Hasselblad lens here is not just a name. You get a 4x3 inches of CMOS sensor from Hasselblad. There's a few interesting things here because you can shoot up to 6K on 60 frames per second from this flying device. Except for that, it's a 100 megapixel sensor. So good quality 100 megapixel photos. Now the main one, not just the only available loved child, but you also get two other cameras. These two cameras are wonderful as well. This is not like a smartphone. Drones do not come out every other month or every other year with a new flagship. Oh my god, there's not much difference. That's not the case. Everything here is wonderful. The other cameras are 48 and 50 megapixels each. One has got 1 by 1.3 inches of sensor and the other one's got 1 by 1.5. You do the math, these are wonderful sensors. And the best part, from these lenses as well, you could shoot up to 4K at, guess how much? 100 FPS. So if you're taking this drone out to do any sorts of shoot, be that be real estate or you're shooting a wedding perhaps or anything you want to shoot, this has got you covered. Whilst that is the case, there's a minor fault I found on this device. You know how there's a new gimbal from DJI, it's gonna rotate 360s, you could shoot amazing Dutch angles, you could rotate your videos mid-air, amazing, everything, I love that. If you're used to shooting from the top, making the camera face down, you can't do it. Guess why? because as the cameras are rotated to shoot vertical, done. That's your range. You can't go completely down, neither can you go completely up. That's one problem a few people out there could face, but that's not gonna cause a major trouble to anybody. It's just adding up to one step before shooting plan, because you have to be ready for shooting upwards and downwards from a different drone. Yeah, that's it. Continuing about the camera, the Hasselblad sensor we've got here is not just named as I mentioned, because you get a few additional features from the last drone. All of us know aperture, and a good part here is we can manually control the aperture from this drone. If you're flying, you're taking off somewhere in a forest and you suddenly see an animal. You want a crisp portrait shot of that animal. Whilst it's not completely possible to get it extremely right, but what you can do is you can adjust your aperture to as low as 2.8, and then your pickups gradually ascend at the top of the sky and you see a great hill. There's a good scenario you want to capture, but you don't want any disturbance. You want a great, clean, sharp shot. What do? You increase the aperture. You can take it up to f11. So it's a very good range. 2.8 to 11 is extremely good, and I'm happy with that. And to conclude about the camera, there's one additional thing added to this drone. You get something called AIM, which is basically image processing. Now, those were all the show features. Those were new, those were wonderful. Keeping them aside. Now let's talk about flying the drone. If you're taking it off, how long can you fly it? Or how far can you take this drone? Far is a very interesting question I asked, thinking you'd ask the same, because you can take this drone for 41 kilometers. That's 4 and a 1. You're starting up here, you can go as far as 41 kilometers. That's amazing. And something adding up to is this can fly good enough for 52 minutes. But on a lot of instances, we need to park the drone mid-air to take photos there. And if you're just hovering the drone, it's going to last you for 45 minutes. 41 kilometers of flight distance, 51 minutes of flight time for the battery, and 45 minutes of hovering. I could not name any other drone that's available commercially that has a good enough flight time and battery capacity as this one. So you can take my word on it, this is wonderful. And if you're actually planning on flying 41 kilometers far, you don't actually have to worry, because this drone can fly at a speed of as fast as 90 kilometers per hour. And that's zip zap and zoom to the distance and back. And now, based on what I have told you, you could have had a visualization of what the horizon it opens up with this drone. There's this you can do, there's that you can do. It's an endless possibility. And adding up to that, you could take this drone to an altitude of as high as 6,000 meters. That's another wonderful thing. And if you're wondering about the takeoff speed, there's 3 modes. As every DJI drone, you get Cine, you get Sports, and you get Normal. All the ascent and descent speeds of these 3 modes are around here on the screen. And let's assume you took it to the altitude of 6,000 meters. It's going to be windy up there. You might wonder if my drone's gonna fly away without me having control of the drone. The wind's gonna take it, I'm not gonna fly it. Don't worry. This particular baby has a wind distance of 43 km per hour. That's a lot of wind coming in 43 km per hour, where this drone does not fly away without you trying to fly it. It's gonna hover in there. Coming back to the shooting capabilities of the drone. Why is this drone so special? It's just a drone with an above average flight time, above average flight distance, and above average wind resistance. But there's another thing making it extra special. As I mentioned, this goes around 360. Well, it is the 3-axis mechanical gimbal like we get on other gimbals as well, but you can rotate it completely 360 to shoot vertical, or maybe just to do this. Well, for the gimbal, you get a tilt off ranging from minus 164 degrees to 160 degrees. Rolling, it's minus 90 degrees to 450 degrees. And to pan the gimbal, you can take it from minus 22 degrees to positive 22 degrees. That's amazing range, and that's going to be more than enough for you to shoot anything. Now, this pretty beast of a device needs a bit of protection, because when you're flying out in the air, you're never certain. Anything could happen, you could just lose control any second and ooh, boom, you've crashed into a tree. To protect that, DJI has got you covered. If you're taking this drone in your hand, you will notice the sensors everywhere. While they look a little disgusting if you think they look like eyes, and this drone may or may not have a face here. If you're looking very carefully, it's gonna look like there's 2 eyes and there's a mouth screaming for help. But that's not the case. All of these are sensors, and the rear to protect you. Whilst there's sensor everywhere, the shining star here is the LiDAR. It's an advanced LiDAR, so you can stay assured you're not gonna go straight up crashing into obstacles. This baby here has got 512 gigabytes of internal storage. If you know anything about flying drones, you do know that we always have to carry an SD card to facilitate for all the storage it's gonna take. But guess what? The hassle is free. Unless I have to shoot and give the footages to the editors right away, I don't have to carry an SD card. Although you can add it up, but 512 GBs is going to be just enough. Let's pack this baby up. It's kinda creepy because it looks like an owl from the front, and it looks like it's a face crying for help from the top. Now addressing the elephant in the room, the obvious main difference here is the screen. The screen is emerging out of the remote, as I mentioned earlier, and we've not seen this particular thing on any other remotes from DJI previous. So a plus point there. And it's not just a screen where you can look at where you're seeing, look at where the drone is seeing, but this remote has a few other features as well. Now you can directly go live from your drone through the remote with the help of an HDMI. That's amazing. So if you're shooting for sports maybe, or if you're shooting for any other thing that requires live broadcasting, you can do it directly from the remote. Well, this remote has also got 128 gigabytes of internal storage. That's another plus point. And additionally, with this remote, you can get a video transmission support of up to 10-bit. That's huge. Well, except for the transmission thing and a huge display at the top of the remote, there's a few other tweaks here as well. While this particular thing is not relevant to any point in the review, but personally, I find this joystick more satisfactory than any other one from previous remotes. You can just listen to this. This is a fun joystick. Except for that, if you're looking around at the main bay of the remote, you get a few more buttons. You didn't get this previously, and each of them have individual features. And DJI has not stepped back on putting up a great display as well. The display is 7 inches, almost 7 inches. It's a tad bit higher, but not relevant. 7 inches of display, LCD screen, and 2000 nits of peak brightness. So with this 2000 nits of peak brightness, you can stay assured that no matter the lighting, whether that be extremely harsh sunlight or extremely late at night, you're still gonna be able to fly the drone very conveniently with the video streaming here. And lastly, one of the other interesting part, I've been saying another interesting part a lot, because this drone is a complete power pack. Every feature you get here is something innovative, something interesting. Everything is great on this drone. Adding up to the list of being great, you get Wi-Fi 6, Bluetooth version 5.2, and 2 other features this time DJI has put in are you get to update the homing point. Previously, if you've realized, wherever you took it off from, that was set as the homing point. But as the range have increased as well, you can move along with the remote and update the homing point likewise. Based on the sentence I just said to all the drone pilots out there, you may be having sort of a trauma. I move along with the remote and the homing point updates. That sounds crazy. Wait, DJI has added up another point for pilots like that. All the pilots out there may have faced an issue connecting to the drone when it's up there, when it's flying, and suddenly you see connection lost. That's not happening anymore because DJI worked on it. You get an added coding to the drone and the remote this time, so the transmission has gotten better as well. There's a specific system whose main work, the only thing it's going to do for you is be better at connecting you to the drone on high disturbance areas. Well, to close it off, this remote has got a 6200 mAh battery of itself. This is a working, flying power bank. Well, that was it for this particular video. I hope I answered all of your questions. If you do want to know about the prices of this drone, there's a link below the video. You can go there, you can look at a detailed review of this drone. Not just review, you can check every specifications I skipped on this video. Then, if you want to buy the drone, scroll a little further down, you'll see a buy link. Thank you for watching this video. You've seen me before, you'll see me again. This is Susan Corner signing off, or maybe this time flying off. Until next time, bye-bye.